It's showtime. Hey, welcome back. You know what I'm saying? We back for another live today because I want to give y'all my review on the Belle Collective. All right, let me get this pulled up really quick because I got to get my notes pulled up. Okay, I got my notes pulled up over here. Y'all, thank you for coming in. Please, as you enter, please do not forget to like the video. And if you are not already subscribed, please remember to hit that subscribe button and the bell button so you don't miss out on any more of my videos. Like I said, make sure y'all are saying hey to me now. Don't just come in here and be rude. Say hey as you enter. We're going to be talking about episode 3 of Owns the Belle Collective. I'm enjoying this show. What are y'all thinking about it? Because so far I am definitely enjoying it. Let me see who we are. Hey, Fallon, for Brittany. Thank you for joining me today for this late night live so we can get into the topic. So I'm going to go ahead and get in because I do not want this playback to be too long. The episode starts off with Tambra talking with her parents. She just had her party and she was kind of debriefing them. She let them know that the party went really, really well. And she didn't want to tell them about any of the drama that could have happened at the party. But while she's talking about, being excited to see another birthday and being excited about work, her parents are just really wondering, okay, so work sounds very great, but when are you going to give us some grandbabies? And Tambra is just really not focused on that. She's very much so focused on her job, focused on work. She's waiting on a husband. We find out that she had a boyfriend of 16 years. And since breaking up, even though her family or her parents still have a relationship with him, she doesn't want to be with him and she's moving on. I'm going to just say this about this. She does have her eggs frozen, so she can have a child whenever she wants to have a child. I just find it interesting that and I don't want to say she wasted 16 years of her life, but she did. She wasted 16 years of her life on this relationship that, didn't end in this family and marriage that she wanted. She expressed that she admires her parents because they've had a 50-year relationship. And so it just, to me, I feel like at this point, her parents shouldn't be asking her about when she's going to have kids and all this kind of stuff, because I ain't trying to be shady, but at 40, for most women, that ship has sailed. Like I said, the ship has not sailed, but as you can see, she's focused on her job and that's just the focus. So that was Tambra, and that's pretty much the most of her storyline for this episode. The next episode we get is with Nettie, Antoinette. 16-year relationship. Right. That's crazy. But anyway, it's longer than some people's marriages. But anyway, the next thing we get was with Nettie. She's visiting her business. She's with her contractor. Nothing really is done. They still have to set up floors and all this kind of stuff. So she invites her girlfriend. I don't remember what her girlfriend's name is, but she invites her girlfriend and Latrice, that's her name, and Latrice to come and stop by the building. Latrice kind of comes in and shades it a little bit, it's kind of hot, and I mean there's no floors or ceilings or walls, but I see the vision though. Honestly though, it seems like a very big space, and she's very much so proud of it. And when it comes into fruition, I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful business for her. So after the contractor leaves, they begin to discuss the birthday party. And now Nettie, I got to say, wait a minute, I got to call foul, because at the end of last episode, you and Letitia, I'm trying to get these names right. You and Letitia were pulled to the side and you told her that you weren't going to talk junk or talk smack about her behind her back. And if she had ever felt or heard anything that wasn't true, because you're promising to her that you're not going to talk junk behind her back. Meanwhile, the very next scene we see you in, you're talking junk to Letitia and your friend. Nettie, now, I don't like it. She basically was like, oh, when me and Latrice get together, we're so shady. But there was no reason for you to be shady in that moment. And especially after what you should have said was, I did feel like Letitia was coming for me, but you know what? We had a conversation at the end of the night and we cool. She's all right. That's what you should have said. That's not what you said. And I have a problem with that. Anybody else feel a way about it? Because I didn't think that was right. Ooh, my notes fell down, so let me keep going. So also while they were talking, they had to explain to their white friend what keeping it real means. I wrote it in my notes as they were black-splaining. You know how they say that men mansplain? Well, they were black-splaining what keeping it real means. Basically saying that their definition of keeping it real is just being honest and open. But some people take that term and they use it as a reason to be rude. So I'm going to keep that term black-splaining in my back pocket because I have a feeling that we're going to have to explain some more things to Nettie's little friend. So then we go ahead and we see a scene with Marie babysitting 2 of her son's 3 kids. If y'all are unaware, Marie takes care of herself, her husband, her 4 children, and her oldest son, Jay's 3 kids. And so apparently, Jay has 3 kids by 3 babies' mamas, all of which are a year and under. And Jay's 21. We gonna get into Jay. We gonna really get into Jay a little bit later, but I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. But y'all check my face because you already know I got some things to say about Jay. Anyway, so while we're sitting there, Marie is talking about how she just really wants to do the best for her family. She really wants to make sure that all of the mothers are taken care of. We see 2 of the 3 mothers 2 of the mothers picking up their children. And she asked one of the baby mamas how things, like this was the oldest baby's mama, how things were going, how school was going. And she says that Jay has been staying at her house. So what this is saying to me is that this altercation that we end up finding out between Marie and Jay that happens at the end of the episode, what I'm picking up is that this altercation has already happened. She has not talked to him. And so when Jay left, he went to go spend the night with this baby mama. That's what I kind of picked up from this. And Marie made it very, very clear to this baby mama that she is there to take care of the children, the grandchildren, but she's not going to be taking care of Jay because he's a grown man. I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to say this. That's a lie. Now, I completely understand taking care or providing or being there, should I say, for your grandchildren and helping out with the moms. The babies need diapers, babies need formula, helping out in that kind of way, babysitting, sure. However, the way that you're saying it is if you are the one footing the bill for your son's children, which means that you are taking care of your son as well because he's not taking care of his responsibilities. She asked KK, which is, I guess, the 5-month-old's baby mama, had she even talked to Jay, her son, and she said no. So again, I'm trying not to go in on Jay, but I'm gonna say this: there are priorities that are missing, and Marie is enabling it, and we're gonna get more into that a little bit later. So then the next scene we get is Latrice and her PR male out to lunch, and they are discussing her new business venture. She is coming out with a new hair care line. We already know she has Goddess Locks on lock. She has the vending machines. And so the next best thing, of course, is to come out with a hair care line. And so while she's sitting there going through things with Mel, her PR person, Cliff, or should I say Zaddy, calls. And Zaddy is very much so upset that she's not at the salon. He said he came up to the salon to check on her and she wasn't there. Where are you? Oh, well, me and Mel are over here having a little business lunch, and I wasn't invited. So she says, yes, babe, it's just a little lunch. It's no big deal. We're over here at such and such. So he decides to show up. And when he shows up, he says that he's very much so upset because he's not included in the business plans or this business lunch. Excuse me. And he is upset that there are decisions being made without him. Latrice, I'm going to say this to you. I hope you listening, boo. Do yourself a favor and don't take no more money from Zaddy. You say that he's a silent investor. He says he's the VP. Baby, don't take no money from this man. This man right here, he is. every time I talk about a man, I be like, oh, he's controlling. I mean, all men have a little bit of control in them. But baby, this right here had rubbed me all the wrong way. They're sitting up here trying to go over the design and go over the bottles and go over the logos. And he's upset because he feels like he didn't have final say in anything, or he wasn't included in it. And that Mel is doing all of this without, Mel and Latrice are doing all of this without him. Baby, give him his check back. And if Goddess Locks is doing as well as you say it's doing, you need to invest in your own business and don't take no money from him. This is going to be the downfall. You yourself said that he didn't even believe in Goddess Locks. That you said that he didn't even believe in Goddess Locks. So he went from not believing in your businesses to now wanting to be controlling and in every single nitpicky thing of your business, baby. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's all I'm going to say. If I were you, I'd give him his little check back and keep it pushing. Facts, honey. You. All right. Anyway, then we have Marie coming over to visit Letitia. And what kind of aggravated me about this scene, the scene didn't upset me, but what aggravated me about this scene is you have these two grown women. When I say grown women, Marie is well in her 50s and Letitia is well in her 40s. And they keep going, friend. Well, friend, you know how I am. Friend, why you gonna do me like that, friend? I don't know about y'all, but that just aggravated me. It seemed very unreal, unnatural. You're saying this is the first time your friend has been to your house, but y'all this close to friends? I need y'all to shut that up. Let's just start there. Shut that up. I don't want to hear friend come out of either one of y'all's mouth, because I guarantee by the end of this season, we'll see if y'all still good friends. But anyway, while they're sitting there, they discuss Marie's falling out with her son, Jay. So the issue is that Jay decided that he wanted to go to school, but he wanted to go to a school that was 3 hours away from Jackson, Mississippi. Now, mind you, again, just in case you forgot, Jay has 3 kids, but he wants to go to school 3 hours away from Jackson. Marie said that she told him that he needs to go to school, within like Jackson State or somewhere, so that he can take care of his kids. Well, she comes into the house one day and she asked one of the other kids, what Jay doing? Oh, he's packing for school. She goes up there. He's not only packing to go to this school that's 3 hours away, but he's also packing up some of her belongings that she paid for. So she said before she went up there to actually kind of confront her son, she started to record him. Now I'm going to put a pin right there. I said, that's a red flag. Why was your first instinct before sitting here and having this conversation with your son was to record him? She says it's because her children try to play her out like she's crazy to her father. And they run back and tell her dad, like, oh, she's tripping. She's doing this, she's doing that. So she records them for proof, I guess, to show her dad that she's not being crazy. That says to me that you are kind of crazy. I'm sorry. That's not the way that my mind even would think to interact with my children. Number one, my child can't go back to my mama or my daddy and snitch on me for what I do in my house. That's number one. Number two, I don't have to justify my parenting to my parent. That's number two. Number three, that was your thought before you came in here to see what was going on with your son, was to go ahead and start recording. Marie, something might be off. Something really might be off. That just was weird to me. That's a red flag to me. Y'all drop down in the comments and tell me what you think. But that's a red flag to me. Anyway, so she goes into the room, she says, and she starts to confront him about him deciding to leave. And she says that she tells Jay that if he leaves, to get all his stuff and don't come back. And so she says that after she tells him that, he begins to spaz out and he bucks up at her. Her husband, Cedric, is not there. So he bucks up at her, and the other son like blocks her and it's like, Jay, don't. And so Jay punches a hole in the wall behind her head or next to her head. And then he continues to walk out the house. And as he's leaving, he's punching more holes into the wall. So then she plays the recording for Letitia. And y'all, that recording though, like, I am not going to lie, that recording did have me shooketh. I was very much so surprised because I'm like, I'm surprised at the recording, but also I was kind of surprised to kind of try to listen. I was listening to Jay, but I was listening to Marie and how she was responding. And from what it sounded like in the recording, it sounded like Marie was honestly not being irate. She was being somewhat calm, just like, you gonna have to leave, you gonna have to go. And this boy is cussing. He's talking about, get out my face with this bull-ish, and you man, get the F out of my face with this bull-ish, I'm about to spaz and all this kind of stuff. It did sound very much so scary, and it did hurt my heart. I actually did choke up a little bit in this scene because I could only imagine how much hurt and pain Marie felt during this moment. You know what I'm saying? This is supposed to be your child, your son, not only, your son, someone who you are legitimately bending over backwards to take care of. This boy is 21 years old with 3 kids. Meanwhile, you are, you have him in your house. You're taking care of his kids. She says she's taking care of, he gets traffic violations. She's taking care of that. She's taking care of his food to eat. And you have the nerve to buck up at your mama like this. I don't care how mad you are. You don't do that. You don't do that. And for her to say that he has never been this disrespectful to her before, I don't necessarily believe that, because you don't go from 0 to punching holes in the wall in front of your mom like that, especially over your mom like that. Like, I don't know. Something about that, I don't know. I feel like they probably already had a tumultuous relationship to some extent, but he was dead wrong. Dead wrong. And he wouldn't have to, like, I'm not gonna say he wouldn't, because as a mama, you're not gonna cut your son off, but it would be a while before me and him would be on the same page. I'm gonna give y'all a quick little story time, and we're gonna continue with the story. When I was 20, I wasn't 21, I was like maybe 22, 23, still living with my mom, had graduated from college, came home. Me and my mom had got into it. Honestly, we didn't even really get into it because I didn't get into it. She swears I did. I promise y'all I did not. I did not. But me and my mom had a disagreement. I wasn't even at this level of disrespect. She kicked me out. And it took us a few months to get back on the same page, because at the end of the day, and like I said, there was no disrespect, there was no cursing, there was none of this here. But just the fact that of the dynamic of mom and daughter, I'm taking care of you, and I feel like you are not doing what I need you to do or doing what I tell you to do or whatever, that caused a rift. I could only imagine if I had said some craziness like he was saying to her. You get what I'm saying? Like, they don't even know. Absolutely not. So if it took me and her a couple months to get together after that, and there was no disrespect like this at all, I could only imagine. Had there been some holes in the wall, honey, there might have been some steel in some spots. I'm just saying it. Anyway, let's keep going, because we still got more to talk about them later down in the thing. But let's keep going. Like I said, that recording really was crazy. So after Letitia heard the recording, she basically told Marie that, they need to sit down and have an open conversation. And I do really like Letitia. I think that she's very much so level-headed, and she seems like, so far, I feel like she's my favorite person on the show. I know last episode I said I didn't have a favorite, but so far I think she's my favorite. So the next scene we get is with Letitia and Tambra going down to City Hall to discuss moving forward with purchasing a business on Ferry Street. And I love to see it. It was a nice scene that she sat down with one of the councilmen and told him that, she's going to need some help. She's going to need help getting everything together. He's going to have to kind of walk her through it, but she's excited to bring Ferry Street back to where it was. And upon the ending of the meeting, she shed a few tears because she was very much so excited about where things are going. Love to see it. And that is honestly one of my favorite parts about this show. I hope that they are able to gentrify this area and bring it back to the glory of Black business that it once was. Then we see Latrice and Zaddy at the pool, and that pool was gorgeous. How do you have a pool that beautiful and not know how to swim? How? So they're at the pool, and but it was a cute scene. I actually did think it was a cute scene. She says she doesn't know how to swim, so she decides to get into the pool with Zaddy so that he can kind of teach her how to swim. She admits that she has some daddy issues, as if we didn't already know that, because you're dating a man that's 20 years older than you. I'm just saying there aren't many women, especially young women like she is, that are dating men that are 20 years older than them that don't have daddy issues. Catch that tea. And she tells him to take off his shirt so she could see his muscles. Now, where were the muscles? I don't know. I'm still waiting to find them. And she says she liked his daddy belly. And it was definitely a daddy belly. But if she like it, honey, that's your husband. If you like it, you love it. I ain't gonna say I love it, but if you like it, you love it. They get in the pool. He's trying to teach her how to swim. And the only other thing that was funny about this scene was, honey, you got all these millions. You this businesswoman. You this, all of this, and you ain't got a swim cap. You got to go back and use a plastic bag, honey. What this plastic bag's gonna do for your hair? Not nary, not nothing. I just thought that was funny. It was a cute scene. It was very light. Okay, so we end the episode with the meeting, the family sit down with Marie, Cedric, and Jay. But we have someone else there. We have Essie, Marie's business partner, is there as well. She's supposed to be the mediator. I don't understand why Essie is there. Essie is your business partner. She's her business partner, her best friend, but this is a family issue. So before Essie gets there and before Jay gets there, we see Marie and Cedric, and they're talking about how they're finna sit down and this is going to be a tough conversation. And she invited Essie because she wanted someone kind of more neutral to be there. And she says to Cedric, well, where were you last night? And we find out that Cedric and Marie both have separate homes, even though they're married. When they got remarried, because they got married, divorced, and then remarried. When they got remarried, they each owned a home and they each kept their home. So Cedric has a home, a separate home. And he says that he was at his other home last night. And so Marie is like, she doesn't believe it, that there are times when he comes home, he doesn't come home, or she does not talk to him for a full day and he's supposedly at home. And she does not believe it because they've dealt with infidelity in their relationship before. So as they're having this heated conversation about him not coming home and being at this second home, Essie comes in. And what I did not like was that Essie comes in and she proceeds to call out Cedric. She says, well, Jay feels that he can do all of this because Cedric, you're not here. Now, and so then it turned into Marie and Essie double teaming Cedric for how he is not a good husband. Whoa. I don't know what's going on here, but I don't like it. Number one, my mama told me this a long time ago. You don't tell anybody, not your mama, not your daddy, not your best friend, everything that's going on in your relationship. Because then when you're not mad, when you're okay, they might not be okay. They're still going to feel away. And you can tell that Marie tells Essie everything. She tells Essie everything. Hey, Sammy the Goat. Yeah, you can tell that she tells Essie everything, to the point where Essie feels like it's okay for her to check her friend's husband. And then my friend is not going to come into my house and check my husband, about what he does and does not do in my house. Then Essie said something like, well, it's like you married me too because I'm her partner. I don't know what kind of sister wives, undercover scissor sister situation we have going on here, but that's not how any of this works. When Marie married Cedric, Marie married Cedric. Cedric married Marie. Cedric didn't marry Marie and Essie. And for Essie to feel vindicated, like she can talk to this man in their house any type of way, I did not like that at all. And I could understand if that's the case, not saying that, it's right for him to be out cheating or anything like that. But I can understand why Cedric doesn't come home, because he doesn't even feel like he's the man in his home. Because you just let some other person come into his home and chump him off. Marie, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. And Essie, you dead wrong. I don't like it. So in walks Jay, and they all go and they sit down. And Essie begins and says, your mama's hurt. Your mama's hurt. And Jay basically makes an excuse for his actions. He says that he felt like she was trying to take over his life. And, he didn't know why he got so upset or how he got that upset so quickly. And I wasn't here for it. I was not here for it at all. I'm sorry. I'm not. First of all, young man, you are 21 years old with 3 kids. That means you are not making the best life decisions right now. 3 kids with 3 babies mamas. You clearly are not making the best life decisions. Your decision-making skills are skewed. Because if your decision-making skills were not skewed, you would not be in that type of situation at 21 years old with 3 babies that are all within a year. That tells me you don't make good decisions. So your mother guiding you into staying home or still supporting you going to college, still supporting you playing basketball. We find out that Marie basically told him, that the plan was for him to take a year off to focus on his children, to work and to get his mind right so that he can condition for basketball and go to school. See, then when I was talking about where things ain't right, Marie, this is what I'm talking about. She said something like she didn't mean to give her children the world or give them everything they asked for. It just kind of happened. This is what I'm talking about. Marie, it's time for you to do some course correcting. Because this is where the problem is. He feels like it is okay. It's perfectly okay for him to still live his life, go off to college, and do extracurricular activities like play basketball 3 hours away. It's cool because my mama gonna take care of my kids. I ain't got to be here. She can't tell me what to do. There would be no, you going out. You can go to online school. You can go to work. You can get that same degree going to online school. You can go to work. Basketball, you forfeited that. You have 3 kids. That's 3 mouths to feed. You need to be at somebody's job. That's where you need to be. I'm not going to be supporting this type of foolishness. If I were Marie, he'd be cut off. Period. He would be cut off. Period, point blank. Am I paying for the insurance on your car? I suggest you get a job. I suggest you get some insurance. Am I paying for a note? I suggest you get a job. Because we don't want nothing repoed. Is it in my name? Then leave it in my driveway and leave the keys. I'm not gonna cut you off from communication, but financially, something got to give. Something's gonna have to change right here. Because you're still acting as if you're a child, and you're 21 years old with 3 kids. You're far from a child. You're a grown man now. You need to start making some grown man decisions that include your children. What do you think you're gonna be, the next Steph Curry? Probably not. Let's be clear about it. Let's be real about it. Probably not. Going off 3 hours for college? No, sir. Marie's right about that. He's immature. And I don't feel like he was checked properly in that conversation. I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't feel like he was checked properly in that conversation. I feel like he gave this an excuse. He gave this slack ass apology. And Cedric was like, oh, well, I appreciate you apologizing. Cool. Sure. I appreciate you apologizing, but some things are going to change because you feel liberated in disrespecting me to the utmost level. And there should be some consequences. See, he is not someone who has received consequences for his actions. We're seeing that over and over and over and over again. You have one baby where mama's going to take care of it. You have a second baby where mama's going to take care of it. You have the third baby where mama's going to take care of it. I decide to go to school where mama's going to take care of everything else. I bust a hole in the wall where mama should be all right. I'll come in here, I'll give her a little sorry. And we'll move forward. I'll tell her I'll go to anger management. I'll tell her I'll go to family therapy. Sure, whatever. Because she's still going to handle everything. Marie, it's time for you to course correct. And they be saying that. They be like the therapists sometimes be the ones with the most messed up home situations. And it seems to be that way. I want to see what these anger management classes are going to be like, what this family therapy is going to be like. And I feel like, Marie, it's time to get him off the tip. Him and his 3 kids and their baby mamas. I'm not saying don't babysit for your grandkids. I'm not saying don't give them Pampers or formula. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But you are not a placeholder for their father. Period. And that's how you've been acting. And that's why he thinks it's okay to go 3 hours away to school because mama gonna take care of it. And that's a problem. And last thing I want to say before I get off of here, when she told Jay that he needs to go to anger management because to say that he didn't know why or how he flew off the handle like that, she told him, you need to get that in check because as a black man in America, you could really hurt somebody or be hurt. That's something real right now. That's real. That is real. You can't let your anger, and this is anybody, you cannot let your anger get the best of you to the point where you can't control yourself because there are a whole lot of people sitting in prison right now who that's happened to. He's immature. He needs to grow up at 21. He needs to grow up. Period. And I'm sorry. I would love him, but I would have to love him from afar for a good little minute until life got kind of tough for him, until he realized how easy he had it. Because that don't make no sense. But that's it, y'all. That is the Belle Collective episode 3. I hope y'all enjoyed this review. Please make sure that you go down and you comment below and tell me your thoughts on tonight's episode. What did you feel about the situation between Marie and her son, Jay? Who's your favorite person on the show so far? What do you think about Zaddy being the investor for Latrice's new business? And anything else that y'all want to talk about for this episode? I hope y'all enjoyed this review. I will be back tomorrow on the live like this. For my review on Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm excited to talk about it. If you have not been watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, check out some of my playlist. Check out my playlist to catch up before tomorrow so that we can get in here and we can discuss all of it. If you have not subscribed, make sure that you are subscribed right now. Hit that notification bell and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.